Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video where we go over everything that is going on inside of the crypto space. If you're trying to stay up to date on Bitcoin, altcoins, and everything going on inside of these markets, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell so you're notified every time I upload. We have some good stuff for you guys today. We're just going to get right into it. Don't want to waste anybody's time. If you could do me a favor and tap the like button, it helps a ton to help grow the channel and push this video through the YouTube algorithm. And with that said, guys, again, hope you're all having a great day, but let's just get into it. First thing we're going to go over is Willy and what he thinks about the current market, right? This market is crazy right now. So the big question is the big Bitcoin bull run over? So let's see what Willy is thinking. He expresses his confidence that Bitcoin has not entered a bear market quite yet. And he even goes as far as to say that the harsh correction could be healthy for the market. So here is what he says. This is not a mania phase and then the start of the bear market. This is just the middle of the bull market. So we've got a lot of cheap coins sitting here on the market. I think it will take a bit of time to recover just from the sheer amount of coins that we dumped out. It will take time to reaccumulate. I think ultimately, if you look at the network health, this is a good thing. The dip may affect his price target for the current bull market, but it is too soon to tell how resilient Bitcoin will be amid the sell-off. And he says the model that I used for the market top is based on price trajectory, and it slowed the rise to the top for that model. It's too early to tell. It's predicated on what happens in the next quarters of the bull market, but it's going above 100,000. I'm confident. We need to go up very quickly for us to reach 300,000, and right now I'm ballparking between 200 to 400,000. I need to see how this price gets absorbed. I want to see what happens in the weeks to come, but it's definitely slow. It's really too early for me to get a picture of how this is recovering. It is recovering. We saw immense peaks and flows out of the exchanges as we were going below the $40,000 range, so very bullish on the exchange flows. And guys, I have another article where we will take a look at the exact data for the exchange inflows and outflows, and they do print, as of right now, a pretty bullish picture. You know, what Wu's basically saying is that, he doesn't think that the bull market is over by any means, but it's still too early to really tell exactly what is going on, right? Are we going to make a V recovery right here and push up pretty quickly? It's a little too early. Anyways, he thinks that we are recovering. Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think this is the end? We dumped. This is our cycle top, or do you guys think we are midway in the bull market? I have to be honest. I personally think that we are midway, and one of the things that really makes me come to that conclusion is if you just look at the Bitcoin chart. Even though we've had this massive sell-off, it doesn't have any of the 2017 signs of a blow off top, right? The chart looks like it went through some distribution, right? There was some selling of coins, smart money taking profits, and now what I'm personally looking for is a reaccumulation, or I think we could also see a very strong V bottom type recovery. Anyways, whatever happens, I'm cool with it. The longer we stay low and the longer prices stay low, the longer an opportunity we have to dollar cost average at cheaper prices, in my non-financial advice opinion. Here we have Dalio reveals Bitcoin investment, but warns of regulation rocking crypto markets. This was pretty interesting because we found out that Dalio owns some Bitcoin. So at a conference on Monday, he said that he owns some Bitcoin and called the cryptocurrency a better inflation hedge than bonds. Here are some of the key facts when he was speaking at CoinDesk's annual consensus conference on Monday. He disclosed that his Bitcoin investment for the first time while discussing the inflationary concerns that have fueled Bitcoin's resurgence and rattled stock market in recent weeks. And he says, personally, I'd rather have Bitcoin than a bond as an inflation hedge, which is pretty crazy, guys, right? If more investors read this and they see what Dalio has done and they take on that mindset and they start viewing Bitcoin as a better hedge against inflation than a bond, that's going to be a massive paradigm shift, because for a long time, right, what did investors run to? Well, they certainly weren't running to Bitcoin in hard times because Bitcoin didn't exist. So this could make a massive paradigm shift. And it would also change the direction of where capital flows, during hard times or when people are expecting inflation. So it's going to be really interesting to see how much of a chunk the crypto, digital asset, Bitcoin market can really eat up. So he says, I think Bitcoin's biggest risk is its success. He added of soaring investor demand likely spurring regulatory crackdowns, which have already started to materialize in China, crashing crypto markets by more than 50% from highs earlier this month. Dalio's change of mind comes after he questioned crypto's massive resurgence in November, tweeting that I might be missing something about Bitcoin or I'd love to be corrected. And I don't know if any of you guys remember that tweet. But remember, that was a pretty, big time when you see a person like Ray Dalio talking about what am I missing on Bitcoin. That kind of shows you he's probably warming up to it. So before launching into a slew of perceived downfalls that echoed much of the bearish sentiment on Wall Street, he says, unlike gold, which is the third highest reserve asset that central banks own, I can't imagine central banks, big institutional investors, businesses, or multinational companies using Bitcoin. He tweeted just months before Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley, and Tesla all started dabbling in the crypto. And here's his crucial quote. He says, one of the great risks is the government having the capacity to control almost any of them. Talking about Bitcoin or other digital currencies. He said they know where they are and they know what's going on. He cautioned at the conference that he had a similarly cautious tone in November, saying that my experience with the government is they can regulate whatever they want when they feel like it, and if Bitcoin gets bigger and bigger, it will be regulated. And I think a lot of what we see in the mainstream news articles right now is setting us up to almost expect that regulation. So anyways, guys, we are in some really interesting times, and they get more and more interesting almost as each day passes. Now we also have this number of Bitcoin holders shoots to record highs, and this goes over some of that exchange inflows and outflow data. So let's take a look at some of the data and what is going on right now. The count of accumulation addresses climbed to a record for the 7th consecutive day on Monday, taking the total to 545,000. The number has increased by 16,000 since the 8th of May, and the balance held in accumulation addresses has jumped by 30,000 during the same time frame, hitting a 2-month high of 2.79 million Bitcoin. Glassnode defines accumulation addresses as ones that have at least 2 incoming transfers and have never spent funds. Also note that these transfers have to be non-dust amounts, and dust amounts of transfers would be very, very tiny amounts of Bitcoin. So tiny that it really doesn't even matter. As of today, they wouldn't be of any significant value. And they say essentially these are long-term holder addresses. Over-the-counter desks have also seen substantial outflows over the past 2 weeks. And outflows would be signifying dip demand from institutional investors. However, they also note that inflows to OTC desk wallets also spiked to a 5.5-month high of 12,000 on Monday. Inflows indicate an intention to sell, but do not imply immediate liquidation. So pretty interesting stuff. That is the data that we get coming from Glassnode. We also have this, and before we get into this is going to be on the top 3 altcoins amid crypto crash that a trader is buying, Michaël van Poppe. Let me know in the comments, what are your top 3 altcoins if you're buying altcoins. I know some of you might be, only buying Bitcoin or buying just Bitcoin and Ethereum. But if you are altcoin gem hunting, let me know in the comments below what 3 altcoins or any altcoin you're really buying you have been going into the heaviest during this correction. So Van Poppe is preparing his dip buying strategy as altcoins begin to feel the full effects of the correction. And this is what he says: altcoins didn't drop that much. Some of them were running up in the Bitcoin pairs. On Wednesday, the panic started to kick in, and we saw that altcoins were starting to drop heavily as well, right, guys? Because as we know, when Bitcoin tends to get wrecked, altcoins tend to get wrecked with it, right? The market at this moment in time still seems to be pretty driven by Bitcoin. He says if you want to get into the markets, this is the best moment. Fear levels are extreme, panic is everywhere. The discussion is that crypto is legitimately dead. But what did change fundamentally about the DeFi space and all those other altcoins and projects? The answer is nothing. Ethereum against Bitcoin is still in a bull cycle. I have to say, guys, I agree with that sentiment, right? In my personal experience, buying during extreme levels of fear, usually in the long run, if you just wait, it ends up being a pretty good decision. So he says sidelined cash to buy the dips on Oracle projects, Chainlink, DIA, and Bitcoin. And he says if you want to get into positions that have the lowest risk, you're going to look at things like Litecoin, EOS, or Ethereum. And if you're looking for more risk at this stage, you're going to look at smaller altcoins. So you have to watch Bitcoin, but in general, if that bounces, altcoins will most likely come back to play and bounce back quite swiftly. Pretty cool stuff. Again, let me know what coins you guys are accumulating while things are cheap. Or maybe you're not accumulating at all. Let me know. Goldman Sachs report projects Coinbase stock will climb to $306, and they also look to DeFi and beyond. They go over projects like Monero, a couple of other things. This is pretty crazy because, guys, this is coming out from a Goldman Sachs analyst, okay? Think of that, the Goldman Sachs institution, and they are really looking at crypto, which is pretty crazy, and a really big shift from where we were even just a year ago. So these analysts presented the bull case for Coinbase stock on Monday with a sweeping report that highlighted upside across the nascent crypto economy. Okay, so while this report has a focus on the Coinbase stock coin, again, it highlights upsides across the nascent crypto economy. So they call Coinbase's coin stock the quote best way to gain exposure to the expansion of the crypto native ecosystem. It's a 54-page report that provides analysis of DeFi, competing centralized exchanges, and a brief overview of everything from Dogecoin to Monero to NFTs. They say the development of DeFi applications is still in its infancy, and relative to the nearly $2+ trillion market cap for cryptocurrencies, the total value of crypto on DeFi applications is still relatively low at just $67 billion. And they say, that being said, we believe they represent important proofs of concept for more complex applications in the future. One of the most important features in many of these protocols, in our view, is that many DeFi applications have native governance tokens. For example, you have Uni for Uniswap and Comp for Compound. That allows the holders of the token to vote on changes to the protocol. Though DeFi is seen as a competitor to centralized entities like Coinbase, the analyst said its growth has considerable potential to expand the crypto economy and Coinbase's business with it. Should this occur, though this is not part of our forecast, we believe that the ecosystem has the potential to over time drive meaningful amounts of activity and commerce. And they say that crypto as a whole has the potential to expand the market size of financial activities in the traditional financial industry. Pretty crazy stuff. Again, guys, gotta pound into the sand that this is coming from Goldman Sachs analysts. We have come such a long way. And to see Goldman Sachs analysts looking at Coinbase stocks with this eye, looking at the broader crypto space and what that means, to me, is extremely bullish. And they are doing this when they are doing this while fear is, rampant within the markets. Let's go over some prices for today, and we'll talk a little bit more about that crazy fear that we are seeing. Bitcoin, we'll just go over the top 10 quickly. Bitcoin is at 38,000, Ethereum at 2,600, Binance Coin at $335, Cardano is at $1.56, Dogecoin at 34 cents, XRP at 94 cents, Polkadot at $21, Internet Computer at 137, Bitcoin Cash at $700, Uniswap at $24. In the market today, for the most part, guys, on the 1 hour and 24 hour, we are seeing green gains on those. Still down for the week though, right? We had a massive dip, so for the week we are still pretty far down there. Now, last month we were in fear at 31, last week extreme fear at 21, yesterday extreme fear at 10, and now extreme fear at 22. So pretty crazy stuff. Again, I think it was in one of these articles we read, I think it was this one, the top 3 altcoins, with that trader Michaël talking about when things are in fear, that is the best time to buy. And guys, remember how long we were in this greed, in this extreme greed, when prices were extremely high, tons of retail traders coming into the market. Where are those retail traders now, right? Where is that greed now? And it's not there. This sell-off, I think, has washed a lot of newbies out of the market. The newbies are gone. I think the Dogecoin, Robinhood FOMOers, the Shiba Inus to the moon, these the speculative gambling casino mindset type, I don't even want to call them investors, I would say gamblers. If they're not gone, if they didn't get washed out, then they'll probably be in crypto to stay. They'll probably continue to educate themselves. But I think much of that crowd is what got liquidated, what had weak hands and decided just to sell. You know, when you're holding something that has no fundamental value, when you're holding a coin that has no utility, it's much easier to get shaken out of your bags because you know fundamentally your coin has absolutely no value. So when you see it plummeting, you know, you don't want to hold something that has no value. However, if you do your research on crypto projects, you find coins with utility. If these coins crash 50, 60, 70%, even if you're sitting in some losses, it's much easier to continue to hold and even maybe buy your own blood. It's much easier to buy your own blood when you know you actually hold something of importance. It's hard to buy your own blood when you're holding a meme coin. Okay, hope that makes sense. And yeah, guys, we're in extreme fear. So, you know, accumulation, maybe it's time to possibly start accumulating while we're in fear, while we're in this extreme fear, while people are getting shaken out. Maybe, I don't know. Is Willy Woo right? Are we in mid-run of the bull run? I think so. I definitely don't think it's over. If we take a look at buy crypto, this is Google Trends. I'm sure most of you guys know what Google Trends is, but I'm sure there's a few of you who don't. So just so that nobody is lost, Google Trends is basically taking into account the search volume for certain terms. So here you put in your search term. Right now we have buy crypto, and as you can see, we were maxed out just about a week ago. And if we could pull it up here at 100, and now as of today, we were pulled back to 51. So about half the search volume for buy crypto is going on. And if we even type in here, we can type in Bitcoin, and we'll just take a look at a few of these. I have already seen these because, believe it or not, this is the second recording of this video because the first one for some reason failed. So taking a look at Bitcoin, and Bitcoin has not even eclipsed what we did in 2017. We were still much higher in 2017 in terms of social volume than we are now. And that is also one reason why I believe we probably are not at that blow off top for Bitcoin. I mean, if you just look at search volume, this does not really look like a blow off top end of bull run search volume, everybody and grandma coming in. This looks like that, right? This looks like end of cycle. This right here does not look like end of cycle. So that's just another thing as to why I personally think that the Bitcoin bull run isn't over. And if any of you guys do think the Bitcoin bull run is over, make your case in the comments below. I'd love to read it. I like reading other people's perspectives. So if you have a different perspective than me, please share it down in the comments below. And we can also take a look at Ethereum, see what Ethereum is doing. And Ethereum is at an all-time high, so that's interesting. And if we also take a look at XRP, I believe XRP is higher than it was before as well. And nope, I am wrong on that. Came close though. It did come pretty close, but we were dropped as well. But Ethereum, let's just do ticker symbol ETH, ETH, even ETH is high. So ETH is getting a lot of attention right now. As we can see, it's starting to drop. Maybe it will drop. Again, I don't think this data updates. Actually, I'm sorry. It definitely doesn't update daily or anything. So maybe if we come back and check this in a week, things will have plummeted and taken into account the data from the crash. So we'll come back and check this in a week and see how drastic the changes are. And with that said, guys, I'm going to leave you there. That is the video. If you enjoyed it, please do me a favor and tap the like. It really helps a ton to push this video inside of the YouTube algorithm. Also, subscribe to the channel. If you guys like daily crypto videos going over Bitcoin, altcoins, and everything going on in the crypto space, subscribe and hit the bell so you're notified every single time that I upload. Also, keep in mind, I'm not a financial advisor, and this is not in any way, shape, or form financial advice. I'm just here to document the daily crypto news in this crypto bull run, and that is it. So with that said, guys, hope you're all having a great day, and I will see you on the next one.